Imagine, you're 14 years old, you're out in December rain in just a skirt and a polo shirt, and you're the last person in your class to be picked for PE. If that scenario makes your blood run cold, you're not alone. 41% of girls report not liking PE lessons at school, but only 16% of boys report not liking PE. So what's going wrong for girls? Despite its unpopularity, physical education is an important subject. On top of the obvious physical benefits, PE boosts your mood and cognition and helps develop communication and leadership skills where other subjects don't. Research has established that negative experiences of PE can act as a lifelong deterrent from engaging in exercise. From a public health perspective, it's important that schools get PE right. However, it's rarely the physical exercise itself that girls dislike about physical education. So, what are the major barriers to girls engaging with PE, and how can they be removed? Many students consider PE to be too early in the day. If you have PE first lesson, you're required to get changed and get cold, sweaty or wet immediately. Girls often don't have enough time to freshen up before their next lesson. This is sometimes seen as adults as shallow, but let's be real, no one wants to be shamed by their classmates for bad BO. Timetabling problems are further exacerbated by swimming, but I'm going to talk about that in more detail later. A possible mitigation for this could be to schedule PE to take place at the end of the day or directly before lunch, so students don't need to be rushing to their next lesson. Many teenagers report that the attitudes and over-competitiveness of their classmates negatively affects their experience of PE. We all had those kids in our class that treated every PE lesson like it was the Olympics, and would sometimes be very rude to you if you weren't of Olympic standard. Plus, if you're not very good at a particular sport, you'll feel self-conscious and intimidated when playing against those who are. Not being good at a particular sport is a vicious cycle in PE. Classmates who are better at the game, and sometimes teachers, often prefer to keep worse players out of the game as much as possible. Those less good at the sport are often substituted in, rarely playing the full game, or are assigned faraway positions to keep them out of the way. One doesn't get the opportunity to play and improve because your game time is actively limited by those who are better at the sport. Adolescence is a time rife with body image issues as teenagers' bodies develop and change. This isn't just a problem affecting girls, and it's actually wildly underreported and ignored in boys, but generally, girls are more likely to experience body image problems. Because of this, many girls feel insecure about getting changed and exercising in front of peers, and this problem can be exacerbated by the PE kit itself. 64% of girls drop out of PE at age 16 and often cite the clothes they have to wear as one of the major reasons. They report PE kit being uncomfortable, ill-fitting, and designed for male bodies. If your shorts are falling down whenever you run, you won't be eager to run in front of your peers. Lancashire experiences one of the lowest rates of participation in PE. So, Burnley High School was chosen for a girls' PE kit revamp. Teenage girls at the school worked with sportswear brand Asics and mental health charity Mind to create sportswear that was both comfortable and functional. Redesigned items included gilets, layered skirts, and leggings. Another barrier to PE for girls is periods. Menstruation often causes unpleasant symptoms such as nausea, pain, and fatigue, and these can affect the ability to exercise. However, PE teachers don't often see period side effects as acceptable excuses for missing a sports lesson. Plus, periods bring concerns such as leaking, visibility, and practicality, especially during swimming. Swimming combines many of the issues that I've just spoken to into one: timetabling problems, self-consciousness, and periods. Swimming lessons are an essential part of the national curriculum, and for good reason. Being able to swim is an important skill that can save lives. However, swimming can be pretty unpopular. Having swimming lessons in the morning, then only having a couple minutes to change before rushing back to classes leaves you feeling damp and uncomfortable for hours. And let's be honest, swimming caps aren't watertight, so if you had long hair like many girls do, it would be wet all day, especially during the colder months. Switching to afternoon swimming lessons, if timetabling allows, would limit the amount of time that pupils spend cold and damp. Secondly, body confidence is a major barrier to participating in swimming. Allowing pupils more options about what they wear, instead of a one-size-fits-all navy swimming costume, will likely reduce self-consciousness in front of peers and minimise visibility concerns when using period products. It's everywhere. Girls often receive demeaning and bullying comments from boys during PE, on top of everyday misogyny and sexual harassment. Unfortunately, this is often seen as just a part of life, with many instances of sexist behaviour going unreported. Students often believe that teachers won't take them seriously, or they're labelled as difficult or sensitive for speaking out. Furthermore, teachers are often ill-equipped to handle such reports, with over half of secondary school staff being unaware of sexism policies or practices in their workplace. Sexism in PE also manifests in the sports that girls are allowed to play. Female activities in PE often include netball, rounders and dance, while male ones are football, rugby and cricket. I remember one PE lesson where the boys played cricket, and the girls were sent into a small room to do something called rhythmic ribbons. If you're not familiar, a ribbon is a piece of apparatus used in rhythmic gymnastics. When used by an actual gymnast, ribbon routines are impressive and require a high level of fitness excellence. However, I was stuck in a small room with no gymnastics experience, so all I could do was stand still and wave them around. Even if they are more interested in football or rugby, girls are often told that they are not allowed to participate because of their gender. And on top of that, girls often face homophobic comments from other students for taking interest in what are deemed to be boy sports. Alternatively, they are described as pick-me's and accused of faking interest in said sports to appeal to the opposite sex. Personally, I think it's a real shame that the term pick-me, which was once used to critique how some women display misogyny to appeal to men, has now devolved into a way of dunking on women who take an interest in traditionally masculine hobbies. It's disappointing to see stereotypes enforced, and the insinuation that a girl's interests or hobbies only exist to benefit them romantically. While editing, I found out about the new Sky Sports TikTok account, Sky Sports Halo, and I felt like I had to mention it in this video. It's a self-proclaimed little sis of the main Sky Sports account, targeted at female sports fans. The account comes across as very patronising, posting simplified sports news with pink overlay and text, or adding captions that reference feminine hobbies. Instead of using the account to promote women's sports and champion female athletes, it uses sexist stereotypes to dumb down content for a female audience. Because of course, women won't understand sports unless there's pink text and references to Mean Girls. One thing I've also noticed with girl and boy sports in school PE lessons is that sadly, there are fewer opportunities to carry on girls' sports in later life. For example, there are approximately 40,000 football clubs in England, but only around 3,000 netball clubs. Some of these issues are hard to solve and would require lots of extra funding or timetabling difficulties. And unfortunately, some of the issues I've mentioned don't go away after GCSEs. However, PE lessons can be improved by giving girls more options and autonomy, and not automatically looking down on them because of their gender. Thank you for watching. If you want more health and science content, please subscribe to Puffins Brews.